What's up, guys? Welcome to Running Reimagined. For those of you that don't know, my name is Coach Dylan Hopper, and in this video I want to give a few tips about dealing with the heat. I spent this last weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona, so I felt it'd be useful to share a few tips about how you can deal with the heat if you face those situations. I want to start out by saying that when I really was training competitive, I was living in Tucson, Arizona. So I lived in Tucson for about 3 years, and I really was able to go through and deal with the trials and errors of living, training, and competing in a very hot climate. So my first tip is kind of obvious. It's to run early. It's kind of common sense. In the sense, this weekend I ended up running about 6 a.m. You can run earlier. When I was training in Tucson, most of our practice training times were around 5:45 a.m. So getting up as the sun's rising is going to help you tremendously. Obviously, it depends how long you're running for. Because if you're going longer into the afternoon or the day, it's going to be harder and harder towards the end of the run, and you're really going to feel that. So if you're going to be able to run, earlier in the morning, it's going to be cooler, you're going to feel better, and you're going to end up having a better run. So another tip, and this one might be obvious as well, it's just to hydrate. It's so important to be able to hydrate properly, and that's not guzzling a bunch of water right before your run, because that's not really going to help you out so much during the run. But it's making sure that you're just consistently drinking water throughout your day leading up around to that morning run, so you can be able to wake up, you're refreshed, you're ready to go. Maybe you drink some water right before the run. And then you'll be able to last throughout the entire run. So my next tip is kind of a mental tip. It's more around mindset and mind frame, and it's understanding that anytime you run in difficult climates, one thing that can really help is really just embracing the climate, embracing the atmosphere. So if you're running in a hot climate, really embrace and be excited for that opportunity to run, in that warm weather, and try to find the positives that are going on in the climate. This past weekend when I was running, I was truly excited to just get out and feel the heat, feel the warm weather. And then on my run, and obviously this wasn't a really intense training run or interval work or anything like that, but I was able to look around and really find the beauty in Arizona and how there's so many, different cacti blooming right now, and there's so much wildlife that was moving around, and just feel good about the heat. I think that goes for all climates. If you can be able to look and try to find the positive in the atmosphere that you're in, you're going to have a much more positive experience by the end of the run. So my next tip is understanding the route that you're running. So before you leave the house or before you leave the park or wherever you're starting, understand where the route's going, how long you're running for, making sure that you hydrated properly before the run, so that when you go into that distance, exactly, you're prepared, there's going to be no surprises. I think you can have troubles, especially in those climates, if you go out and then you get lost and you end up running for another 20, 30, 40 minutes longer than you thought you were going to. Hydration becomes a factor, food becomes a factor, just the heat in general can become a factor. So really understanding your route before you leave the house. Finally, my last tip, and this one saved me a bunch in Tucson, Arizona, and it was to understand where the public restrooms are and where the drinking fountains are. When you're running in that warm climate, it can help tremendously if you're having a tough time during the run, just to be able to get a drink of water, to get your mouth kind of wet, maybe to splash water on your face. It can kind of help reset and get you back in the groove of the run. And then also, if the wheels start to fall off or you start to kind of feel out of it, you have those destinations along the way where you can take a break, help get yourself to reset, and then continue along the run. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you know somebody else who would benefit from this, please share it with them. It's our goal to be able to help as many runners as possible. An exciting announcement about something that I'm doing and Running Reimagined is doing is that we're taking 4 to 5 athletes and we're coaching them one-on-one for a month, and it's going to start from June 15th to July 15th, and it's going to be real intense one-on-one coaching. I want to be able to really dive deep with a few of the Running Reimagined followers, figure out how I can really be able to help you guys more. So if you're in for that, please either put it yes in the comments below or message me on the Running Reimagined page and I'll get back to you. Have a great day, guys. Take care.